Hey, football fans, welcome back to another episode of Lions Latest, the show where we gather around and talk about the greatest team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Bryan Hanes, and it's Victory Friday, which is weird to say, but it's Victory Friday, and we have some stuff to talk about from the game. So make sure you guys stick around for the end of the video. Let's get straight into it. Before, though, if you haven't already, you're excited about the Lions when you've been keeping up with the content we've been putting out here, make sure you guys go hit the subscribe button. Go do it. We just hit we hit 1,000 recently. We're going to 2K. Love to see you guys there for the ride. Make sure you guys go do that. Let's get into the video though. So yeah, game summary. Wow. Honestly, and you guys can call me a fake fan, I thought we were gonna get destroyed this game. We looked awesome. The Detroit Lions beat the Cowboys 44-30, and it sealed a crucial win for us that kept our playoffs hopes alive and handed the Cowboys a very humbling defeat after a strong run, as the Lions offense really did just overpower Dallas's defense. This follows a dominant 47-9 Lions victory in October of 2024. Cowboys, we still got your number. Jared Goff's your dad. And where Detroit's offense and defense thoroughly controlled the game, the Lions' potent offense was just too much for the Cowboys. While Dallas really struggled with their sloppy play, less effective running game, and it stalled their momentum. Yeah, the running game wasn't too great. Javonte had that touchdown, but it just seemed like every time they ran the ball, we had their number on those plays. And then when they'd pass, it was great. CeeDee Lamb was getting targeted quickly and often, but then he went out of the game, and it just may have thrown Dallas's offense off. George Pickens maybe wasn't just as available as Dak wanted him. Excuse me. It's that time of the year. I'm not feeling great. Yeah, and just Dallas kind of got thrown off. And shockingly, what was throwing them off was not Aiden Hutchinson. He was still kind of mid. He got the pressures, whatever. But Al-Qadim Muhammad was the man this game. Hutch got those pressures, sure. He got back there, but it just seemed like Dak was always out of his reach, like just by a hand length. It sucked. Al-Qadim Muhammad, on the other hand, was just completely manhandling his tackle and getting back there very often. It's starting to seem like that injury to Hutch really is impacting him more than we originally thought. And that kind of sucks. Like that swim move he had before the injury just is less effective. He's using it less. And honestly, and he let a tight end kind of have his number the whole game. It was kind of weird to watch. That safety was a safety, in my opinion. He tucked the ball back to the line, and I think if you're tucking the ball back, that's a football move, in my opinion. I guess they ruled forward progress. Whatever. What are you going to do? Also, the missed offside call, followed by no defensive pass interference. It was like an episode of The Twilight Zone. I seriously couldn't believe they didn't call whatever defensive pass interference, whatever. The offsides call was that one blew me away. And we gotta make up call later with Anzalone, that offensive pass interference when Anzalone just kind of got swam on. We gotta make up call, but still, that was a roughly officiated game for both sides. Tesla had a little bit of his breakout, not as much as I thought he would, but hey, I started him in one of my fantasy leagues just because whatever, and he got me like 10 points. 2 catches for 20 yards and a touchdown on 3 targets. Still a small workload, but he continues to make the absolute most of what he gets in a game. When you throw the ball to this kid, good things happen. Especially when he almost scored that toe dragger in the end zone. A second earlier, he would have been in bounds, and he got both feet down. He was caught the ball. I mean, throw the ball to this guy more. I know we have 2 really talented receivers, and I know the workload's spread. Get this kid the ball more. He does great things when the ball's in his hand. And Goff started the game getting rocked, but the O-line actually tightened up. Only allowed 1 sack in the game. Miles Frazier looked good coming in. Final, yes, that's what I wanted. And Glasgow did his job for the most part. Great run blocking, too, I'd have to say. Cullen did fantastic. Ratledge had some great pulls on the interior. I mean, Gibbs walked into the end zone on a couple of his runs, just strolled in there. Needed this game big time. Our playoff chances shot up to 55%. Now we just need to keep winning, but we got tough opponents like the Rams at the Rams. Oh, got to win that game, though. And honestly, the way our O-line played, the way we tightened up this game against a tough team. I'm not going to say the Cowboys aren't a tough team. They're on a roll right now. They beat teams we couldn't beat. we just looked more refined in this game, and that's what I was waiting for the last 4 weeks, was us to look refined, and we looked better this game. Offensively, defensively, our line looked good. I think that was the big worry on everyone's head, was our offensive line. We just got to keep doing it. We got to go into this next week even stronger. But I think it was a great game. Some horrible calls for both sides, but overall it was a fun game to watch. Next is the players that stood out in my opinion. Now I could have put Gibbs here, but I'm gonna do David Montgomery for one reason. I know Gibbs had just 3 touchdowns, but Monty just worked this game. His touchdown included shaking off tackles, like just get off me, setting the tone for the game run wise. I mean, it showed the Cowboys, you got to make tackles, brother, or else it's gonna be a long game. Like Monty in his touchdown last year, just dragging dudes as he goes to the end zone. It was awesome. He had 60 yards on 6 attempts and a touchdown. That's the kind of get back David Montgomery wants. Get 10 yards a run and then get a touchdown. Well, he didn't get 10 yards a run, but on average, right? Uh, I he looked great. He looked awesome. I'm glad we got the split set going again. I'm glad both guys got love. It's good. It is a good thing when both running backs are succeeding in Detroit. Al Qadim Muhammad. Got to talk about this guy. What a game for this guy. 3 sacks, and they were in crucial moments. I mean, talk about just being a game time player. He picked up the slack as Hutch was getting bullied by a tight end for the most of this game. Great game and great speed for Muhammad. He just got around the edge so effectively every time. Great tackles, way to just locate Dak Prescott. I mean, it was textbook, guys. He just, when we needed him, he showed up, and I think that really was what we needed a lot on defense. We talked about how our time to the quarterback was very low, lowest in the NFL, and Dak gets the ball off in 2.5 seconds every play. Not the case for this game. Locked him. We did a pretty solid job of locking up the secondary for the most part, and then we just let Muhammad go to work on the outside. It was awesome from him. And then finally, I want to put St. Brown here. I could have put another defender. I absolutely could. Derek Barnes had that interception. Could have put Tesla up here. I think St. Brown deserves this spot, and I'm putting him here over JMO because of what he did this game on that ankle injury. I mean, before the game, an hour before the game started, I thought he was going to be out. Right? I was setting my fantasy lineups accordingly, and then I saw him warming up on the field, and I'm like, okay, all right, man. Thought maybe he was going to be a little Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan action, just out there for a distraction. No, he got involved, and I thought he was going to end up sitting. So I got to put him here. He had that one drop, but I'll give it to him. I'll give him some grace this week. 6 catches for 92 yards on 9 targets on a injury that he thought would keep him from this game. Sheesh. Good, great game from St. Brown. But I will say that is just what great players in this league do. They fight through it, and they continue to put up numbers on big games. And that's just what St. Brown did this game. Got to give Saint some love. Now take us to fantasy. No. Could have put Monty in here. But Gibbs did have 3 touchdowns. After a very modest 11 points he had last week, Buddy gets 37 points off 43 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns. And don't forget his 7 PPR points for 77 receiving yards. If you're in a PPR league, this man went insane. And you're very happy that you picked him in the first round because he's been awesome. Ever since like for the first 5 weeks, just forget about it. Yeah, forget about it. Because what did he even do? The first 5 weeks, he wasn't even, never mind. 15, 19, 26.9, 17.7, 16.7. Then he had 7 points. That's cool. 36.8, 5. Yeah, that's 38.2, 19, 55.4. Gibbs is starting to feel himself, and I love it. That makes me very happy. Continue to do your thing, man. Goff. I'm going to keep putting Goff in here until Lamar does better. I'm just going to say it. 16.2 points on 309 yards and a touchdown. Could have been a lot more, but the rushing touchdowns were just plentiful this game, and I'm not going to be angry about it. Let's let the running backs eat. Still won't surprise me if he does do better than Lamar this week, though, for the 4th week. Lamar faces the Steelers. We know what kind of happens when he goes against the Steelers. Bad things happen for him. And he's also been off a few weeks, just having Derrick Henry do Derrick Henry things to keep their playoff hopes alive. Great game from Goff, honestly. I mean, he had like maybe 2 throws where I was like, come on, Jared. But a lot less than normal. And he had some great finds. He had some great He honestly avoided the pressure a couple times too. He spun out of a couple sacks. Good for you, Jared Goff. I'll give it to him. And JMO, finally, JMO continues to cook. Continues to cook. 17.3 points off 7 catches for 96 yards and 7 rushing yards. Could have been a rushing touchdown. Don't step out of bounds next time. But again, if you have this guy in your flex spot, if you have this guy in your wide receiver 2 spot, he's continued to do good things for you. 17.3 points is solid. It's really solid. And a touchdown could have made his points increasingly better, right? So, he almost had one. They're giving him looks to score touchdowns. Great fantasy pickup if you have him. If you still are with before the trade line, if your league does that later, I would try maybe grab him because you could probably get a lot out of him right now for, I don't know, for a little. I feel like there are some people who still underestimate him, and you could probably try to get a little fleece out of him. Great stuff from JMO. Great stuff from Goff. Great stuff from Gibbs. Great stuff from St. Brown. I wish I could give Al-Qadim Muhammad a fantasy grade, but it's just the defense, and they just ended up doing okay. Man, great player performance this game. There's not enough I can say about that. Finally, injuries continued to pile up. Oh, I left the bad news for last. I wanted you guys to enter the video happy, but yeah. Brian Branch, late in the game, after the Lions made a key defensive stop in the red zone, Branch went for the interception on a bobbled ball and suffered an ankle injury. The all-pro defender was down for quite some time, which is just like, oh, no, not another safety. And when he finally was able to walk off the field, it was under some assistance. He moved very slowly and only walked a few feet off the field. The rest of the way, Branch was carted off the field into the locker room. So Branch, though, wasn't the only safety the Lions lost. Thomas Harper suffered a concussion on the first defensive drive. Was out for the rest of the game. So when Branch went out, I'm like, who do we got playing at safety? Detroit's already down Kirby Joseph. By the end of the game, the Lions were down to their number 4 and number 5 safety. Avonte Maddox and Daniel Thomas. I like Avonte Maddox. Cool. Daniel Thomas, I don't know too much about, and I think that's all I have to say on that. I need my starting safeties back. Remember at the beginning of the season when I said, it's cool that we have these 2 Pro Bowl safeties, but what happens when they both go out? We don't have anyone to back them up because we keep releasing safeties. I'm not going to say I told you so, Dan Campbell, but it's looking like it. We got 10 days to recover, and because of that, we're going to need everyone back for this next game because now it's basically win or lose. And I mean win or lose, and lose means go to the Bahamas, enjoy your vacation. So we need everyone back for this game. Brian Branch, I'm hoping it's just kind of maybe less than what St. Brown had. At first, I thought he tore his ACL. He was grabbing his knee, and they were flexing it. I was like, oh, God. And we don't have any new updates on that yet, but I will get you those as soon as I can. Awasika remains out and on the list with a foot injury. Thank God Miles Frazier was back to provide some assistance. I was really happy about it. His window lined up right with this game. Get him back in there, get him some action, get him some reps, get him some pro time. I like it. Miles Frazier. We'll get some more stats on him, but for the most part, he did his own and only allowed Goff to get sacked once on that O-line. So great stuff from him. All in all, the injury to Brian Branch and Thomas Harper sucks. Our safety position's already low, and they're 2 great players. That sucks. But we played a great player game, and I think as a team, we just looked like a better team. Like, we weren't forcing things. It wasn't one of those games where I was praying for someone to make a play. We played a good game, and I was happy about that. We have to take it into next week, though. You guys let me know. With that being said, we are out of time today. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Lions Latest. If you made it to this point in the video, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss a video, and tell me what you guys think about player performance and what really stood out about the Lions in this game to you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go Lions, and I will see you in the next video.